Yo, think I think we're good. I always like wait till the last second. I swear to get this this stuff going here. Oh man, I gotta share this around again. Let's see. Of course, I try to change up the setup. I need to really like get something going here. Oh shit! Throw it to Troutman. Oh god, catch it. No, that's not. That's Troy Franklin. I'm stupid. Here we are though. We're playing the lowly Las Vegas Raiders. I know my laptop sounds like it's gonna blow up. 2nd and 5 here for the Broncos. As I think there's a timeout. Raiders call timeout. So I need to. Don't. It's not. I promise you, I'm not just hanging out on my phone. I'm actually trying to. I'm sharing the stream around. Hey, we ain't that big yet. Watching the Broncos game. Always just top chat. Always like live chat. Let's see what's up. Broncos are 3-0 actually. Won 3 straight against the Raiders after losing 8 in a row to them. All the way, I think 2023 may have been like the time they broke that streak. Bo Nix drops back to pass, throws it to Jaleel McLaughlin, who gets up to the Raiders' 44-yard line. What's up, Nash? First and 10 here for the Broncos. Bo Nix got an empty set here. 3 receivers to the field. Bo Nix adjusting to what he's seeing on the defensive side here. First down, Bo Nix drops back to pass. Looks like he has time for a second, then he gets sacked. Damn, that's a brutal set there by the Broncos offensive line, man. Good move there. He beat Garrett Bowles to get off the block. Bo Nix stepped up in the pocket. Got him right where he wanted him. Never let him get outside of him, and he got the sack. So now 2nd and 13 for the Broncos after that sack. Got a little tighter set here. The running back in the backfield this time, Bo Nix. Going to drop back to pass once more. Bo Nix throws it over to Cortland Sutton, who catches it for the first down at the Raiders' 33-yard line. Clock's running. We're looking for a flag at one point, but they are not going to get it. The Raiders were, I might add. Good catch there by Cortland Sutton. Broncos offense looking good to start off. See if they can finish it here. All right, I've shared it around, so we can fully lock in now. 1st and 10 here for the Broncos, looking like they're in a set to run the ball as they will hand it off here to R.J. Harvey. He's going to break. Oh, he almost got it. He broke one more tackle. That's a touchdown. Got tripped up on a shoestring tackle, but still a great game for the rookie running back out of Central Florida. R.J. Harvey here will have to take a much bigger role after the Broncos lost J.K. Dobbins in their last game against the Raiders due to a hip drop tackle. Shown here, 60th overall pick in last year's draft from Central Florida. How's my day going? It's been good. Been chilling for most of it. Kind of seeing how the video's been doing. It's been cool. Seeing a lot more people checking that one out. So we got 1st and 10 here for the Broncos. Bo Nix drops back to pass. He's going to get over to R.J. Harvey, who's going to get no gain here. It's going to be 2nd and 10 on throw. Yeah, that was cool. I didn't know what was going to happen with that Broncos video, man, because it started off pretty slow view-wise, but I'm glad it picked up. Glad to see a lot of new people subscribing to the channel. 2nd and 10 here for the Broncos. R.J. Harvey will come out of the game. I believe they're close to the red zone. They actually are in the red zone. They're at the 19-yard line as Jaleel McLaughlin checks in at running back for Denver. Broncos got a very tight set here. It looked like we may have got an offsides play. We're going to hand it off to Jaleel McLaughlin, who's going to bounce forward for about 7 yards. There is a flag on the play. I believe that will be offsides on Max Crosby. We'll see what the Broncos do here if they want to just go ahead and take the free yards and not lose the down. Yep, there's Max Crosby. And they will wisely take the penalty. Get another down out of that for about the same amount of yardage. So 2nd and 5 here for the Broncos. Less than 8 minutes to go in this opening drive. They have done a great job taking time off the clock. See if they can punch it in. Get an early lead. I would like this to be a nice stress-free game, but with this team and how they've been playing this year, you never know. Got I formation here for the Broncos. Loaded on the boundary side as Tyler Beatty will bounce off a couple guys and get inside the 10 for another Broncos first down. 1st and goal now. Broncos rushing attack doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. Great block there by Adam Troutman. Just using his shoulder there to push out Max Crosby. And just give Beatty just that little amount of space he needs to break free. Got 1st and goal here. 7:15 left in the first quarter. Broncos drive has taken up over 7.5 minutes now as R.J. Harvey checks back in. Broncos going with more of a heavy set. They brought Mercedes Lewis in, so you can figure what they're going to do here. As Bo Nix hands off to R.J. Harvey. Harvey's going to break one tackle. He's going to move, and he's going to get stuffed for about 4 yards. When does PS2 come back? Is he out? I know he was in last game. I don't think that he was hurt. I didn't check the injury report before the game, so I would hope that he's not hurt, but I know he came back last game. That was his first one in about a month. So 2nd and goal here for Denver. We are inside. I think we're at the 3-yard line right now. 8 seconds to go here in the play clock. Broncos got to get a play off. Do get it off. Bo Nix steps back to pass. Garrett Bowles getting beat again. Bo Nix may take it by himself. He's gonna look. He's gonna throw. I don't know what that was. Yeah, Bo Nix should have just ran it. I guess he didn't want to get hurt, but man, I just run it, man. There, that space right there. When you have Troutman, he just kept running outside. Maybe there was something that he was seeing, that the camera angle doesn't show. But I don't know. I feel like he could have ran that one in. We got 3rd and goal here. 7 for 15 on 3rd down last week against the Commanders. So we got a good 3rd down conversion percentage. That was more on the defense for not being able to stop a 3rd down. But clock's running down here. We'll see what the Broncos do. Going to have to call a timeout for fuck's sake. Come on. I don't know what that was, dude. How do we take so long? Come on, guys. Damn. I mean, how do we take that long and get a playoff, though? That's inexcusable, man. Drive is approaching 9 minutes. Make the Raiders great again. That's a crazy hat to wear because you were never going to see that. The Raiders are never going to be great again. I'll just go ahead and say it now. Got an empty set here. Tight trips to the boundary. Bo Nix definitely going to be passing the ball here as he steps back to throw. He's going to actually draw. It's going to be a QB draw. Bo's going to run it in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Denver. As long as there are no flags, and we got a touchdown. Did you see the Bills-Bengals game? I saw bits and pieces of it. I was just coming back home today, so I didn't get I do have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase on my fantasy team, so I've seen how they've been doing. Joe's been all right except for the 2 picks, and then Jamar Chase has been kind of whatever. It's a good run here by Bo Nix. I don't know if that was a design play call. I feel like if it was that quick, he probably did. It probably was a design run, which is pretty ballsy for 3rd and 6 or 3rd and goal, but from like the 6-yard line. I think it was 8-yard line actually. But nevertheless, the Broncos get on the board first at what a 9-minute touchdown drive. Took plenty of time off that clock, tired the hell out of that Raiders defense. And we're off to a good start here in Las Vegas. Now we'll see what the defense can do today, because last week they decided to have a little fun, just play with their food a little too much. Made for a very annoying viewership. That should have been the one I streamed. Of course, like the insane, annoying Broncos games, I don't stream, and then like the ones that I have streamed have been just kind of very cut and dry. We'll see if that changes today. Of course, as a Broncos fan, I am completely okay with a regular, not very eventful game here, just for my sake. But as a content creator, we want them clips. We want them clips. I need YouTube shorts. But we're on commercial break here. I'm just looking. I'm checking my fantasy score. If I'm keeping it a buck with y'all, I'm checking my fantasy score. Because I'm fighting my life here. I am fighting for my playoff life. If I win today, I'm in. If I lose, I'm probably going to be out. Really? Oh my God. Okay, so I just saw this on Twitter too. So Notre Dame opted out of their bowl game. That is pretty crazy, because I don't think people understand how screwed bowl season may be, which really sucks, because bowl season is supposed to be a really fun time in the college football year, where you got games on every day. You're playing for something, man. I know it's not a national championship, it's not a conference championship, but you're playing for something, man. Because I've been in bowl season before. I have participated in those things, and it's fun. It's a fun thing, man. It's supposed to be a way to end your season on a high note. You want to go out with a win, even if you're not hoisting the national championship trophy. You should still want to go out with a win. And I know this is rich saying, coming from a Florida State fan, but because we kind of had that. At the time, I was when they missed out on the playoffs, it's well, I don't even want to be in the bowl game. But I don't know. And that was a very unique situation too, where it's never going to happen again. You're never going to see an undefeated Power 5 conference champion not get in the playoff. That's just impossible now. So I mean, there was legitimate reason for Florida State to sit out, as there's a kickoff return here from the Raiders. It's going to get to the Raiders 29-yard line. But yeah, that's just eliminated from fantasy playoffs last week, man. The only reason I'm in it is because everyone else in my league is the league's so top heavy. I'm 5-8 right now, and it's the last week in our regular season. The only reason I'm in a playoff spot is because the top teams are they have 11 or 12 wins, and then the rest of us are just there, just cannon fodder. As Geno Smith comes out now for the Las Vegas Raiders, 1st and 10 here. He's got Ashton Jeanty in the backfield. Tight trips to the line. Brock Bowers goes in motion. Geno Smith drops back to pass. Sees Brock Bowers out in the flat. He's going to go to the middle of the field anyways for, I don't know who number 80 is. I'm sorry. It's Hufanga who made the play. I don't, the Raiders are such a weird team, because who is number 80 on the Raiders? I legitimately don't know. It's just, I'm sorry, I don't know all the Raiders. Because he got long hair too. I can't see the name on the back of the jersey. But nonetheless, Raiders get a first down. That's not great. Not a great sign when your team is already struggling. Also, they have an interim offensive coordinator, so even more reason to not give up anything big today. Is a toss to Ashton Jeanty. He will get about 3 yards before getting pushed back. So decent play there by Jonathan Cooper. Broncos need to get some pressure on Geno Smith today. They need to bounce back from last week after it was a pretty ineffective effort against Marcus Mariota. They really didn't get as much pressure on him as they had in quite some time. Geno Smith coming off a good game. It's 2nd and 7 here for the Raiders. Once again, Raiders going very tight to the line. Broncos look like they're sending pressure. Geno Smith's going to run. He's going to fake the handoff, throw it over to Trey Tucker, who makes the catch, man. What are we doing? I'm a Bills fan, so that game was a roller coaster. Yeah, like, did the Bills end up winning that game? I didn't see. I was setting up this stuff. I don't like how the Broncos defense has been looking the last couple weeks, man. Like, this should not be a game we struggle in. I know it's a division game and whatnot, but come on, dude. Geno Smith, first down in an empty backfield into Broncos territory now. He has been having his way. Pass over to Ashton Jeanty. I think we are approaching a time now where people have started to figure out how to counter that Broncos defense. And the way they do it is with a quick game. If you're going to 34-39, damn. But, the Broncos secondary, I mean, it's good, but the way they have done their best work is, through sending pressure, like making the quarterback uncomfortable, as they should blow the whistle here, as Ashton Jeanty gets about 3 yards, so it'd be third and 2. But yeah, like, that's what Washington did last week. They were, for the most part, it was a lot of quick game. It was you got to get the ball out quick, because if you don't, the Broncos' defensive line is gonna either force you to throw it away or they're gonna sack you. But if you're not uncomfortable, and if you're not having to hold the ball that long, you're gonna find somebody. 3rd and 3 here for the Raiders. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. We'll see what they are drawing up here. Geno Smith drops back to pass. Looking, moving, throwing it over to number 80 again, who's going to fucking get the first down, man. Come on, dude. God. Ugh. I don't like how they're moving it right now, man. I don't like it. Not one bit. God bless it, man. Like, I mean, just the competition that we're struggling against right now is not ideal. Geno Smith has not thrown an incompletion yet. 4 for 4 for 34 yards. This is Geno Smith, by the way, that we're talking about. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Clock is winding down. Play clock, we're approaching 2 minutes to go. We'll see what they can do here. Almost a delay of game is handed off to Ashton Jeanty, who's going to keep moving. Like, he's going to get about 5 to 6 yards. Like, really? Oh, man. That's just... I don't know. I know it's very early in the game, of course, but... I mean, it's never a good sign. Only team without allowing an opening drive touchdown, so we're trying to keep that streak alive against the Raiders. 2nd and 4 here for Vegas, bringing... big-ass heavy set. Of course, you know what they're doing here. They're going to hand it off to Jeanty, who's going to push forward for another first down. Jesus. They just said this is a Raiders team who has went 7 straight games with 75 or fewer rushing yards. That's what we're working with here. Geno Smith now drops back to pass, going to throw it out to Ashton Jeanty, who jukes out Nick Bonito and gets another 4 or 5 yards. I mean, he's having the day of his life right now, I swear. What are we doing, man? God bless it. Like, we can't be struggling this much against the Raiders. Like, it took so long for the Broncos to score a touchdown on their last game against the Raiders at home. They do it to the opening drive, and now, like, this time around, we're just struggling against this really bad offense. I don't get it. I think they can... No, they're going to run one more play here as Ashton Jeanty's in the flats again, but they're going to throw it down to Brock Bowers, who scores a touchdown. Son of a bitch. Why? What the hell happened to the defense? What the hell happened? I mean, my God, dude. Is it over? Is it over now? Is it over? Son of a bitch, dude. We go to the end of the first quarter. Only 2 drives this game. Both have resulted in touchdowns. The Broncos are tied with the Raiders, 7-7. Oh, man. That is brutal. That's annoying. It's very annoying. God. What the hell, man? That is... Like, something must have happened during the bye week to the defense, dude. What did they do? What happened? Who are you and what have you done? What have you done to the Broncos? Said my mic was... Oh, man. I got to share this around again. God bless it. Like, we can't be struggling this much against the Raiders. Yeah. Here we are. We're in for another fun one, baby. That's what we're here for. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want. I don't want my 10-2 football team to win by more than 1 score. That's ridiculous. Why would I ever want that? Why? Why would you want that whenever you can just have like a thrilling football game against a team that's already eliminated from the playoffs? Why would you want that? It's like the NFL is scripted, and they know that I'm watching. Golly. Broncos country. Got to lock in. That's what Broncos country has to do. We got to lock in. That's just frankly, like, I wouldn't be so worried. I mean, it's still annoying, but I wouldn't be so worried if they also didn't look like shit last week against the Commanders. That's what worries me. Like, maybe the worst thing that happened to this team was going on the bye week. 0-7. That's crazy. The Raiders have an 0-7 record when Brock Bowers scores a touchdown. 0-7 record whenever Brock Bowers is a receiving touchdown. So maybe the Broncos are in for something good here. Marvin Mims takes it up to the 35-yard line. Let's ride. Yeah, we're hoping we're going to ride. Broncos here. I'd say it'd be holding. If I had to guess. Yep. I'm a genius. On Chris Abrams-Drain, the second-year defensive back from Missouri, 5th-round pick of the Broncos last year. Now getting reps on kickoff return and doing the most of that, apparently. So we're either going to have a shootout here against the Raiders, or the Broncos defense is going to lock the hell in. Maybe there's just a secret third option where the offense now just matches the energy of the defense, as the Broncos now have it at their own 19-yard line. Here, Bo Nix is going to fake the handoff to R.J. Harvey. He's going to roll out, throw it to wide open Lil Jordan Humphrey. Oh, damn. That's a name I haven't heard in quite some time. I know they signed him to the practice squad a few weeks ago, and they've had him come in for games as a blocking wide receiver. But that's his first, I believe that's his first catch back with Denver this year. I could be wrong. Let me show the playoff picture here. Denver's second in the AFC, but I believe they said if they win today, they'll officially, and if the the Patriots and the Broncos have the same record, the Broncos will have the head-to-head because they beat the Raiders. So RJ Harvey gets another good run here. So good start here for the rookie running back from UCF. Yeah. I mean, I would like the Broncos just to remember that they're 10-2 and are supposed to have a good defense, but that's just me. Because the offense so far, and I may jinx it, I don't know. The offense has been looking good so far. I mean, they've been able to move the ball down the field. As Bo Nix drops back to pass, he's going to throw over to that's Pat Bryant. And that'll be good for a first down. Yeah, that 10-7 game against the Raiders, that was very dumb. That was the game where the offense couldn't do a thing. And we only won because they missed a field goal. Daniel Carson missed that 48. I think it's 48-yard field goal, something like that. But they've been playing with fire so much, man. That's as Mercedes Lewis is back in, and so you can assume what the Broncos are going to be doing again here because there's no way they're going to have that 41. I think he's 41 or 42-year-old tight end go out and run a route. Bo Nix under center, first down and 10. He's going to hand it off once more to R.J. Harvey as Adam Troutman gets absolutely destroyed, and the Broncos lose 3 yards. Oh, man. Yeah, you would think, Mercedes Lewis would be the one to mess that up just because he's older, but no, it's Adam Troutman that got driven into the backfield saying, "Hi, how you doing? Don't mind if I make this play." This team is so weird, man. It's so weird. 2nd and 13 for the Broncos. Bo Nix going to drop back to throw. Doesn't find anybody. He's going to throw to Marvin Mims, who's going to get about 5 yards here. Going to bring up 3rd and long. Someone's hurt. It's Kelly for the Raiders, number 36. Holding his knee there, so it's never a good sign. As they're going to another commercial break. Tend the injured Raider. Yeah, I'm just expecting now, like every Broncos game has, just slogfest, or it's just a cinematic masterpiece like it was when they played the Giants. They're just doing the 2024 Chiefs routine again. Which, I mean, the similarities are there, but in a way. Except we're not the Chiefs, so we automatically are better. And so far, we haven't lost in the Super Bowl to the Eagles by 40 points. So, another plus. Hell, if they can make the Super Bowl, like they look like a team to me, the Broncos do, that they're either going to lose in the first round, they're going to lose in the first playoff game, or they're going to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Like, they're just such a boom or bust team. The power of friendship carrying them all the way to wherever they want to go. I don't know. It's just such a strange year. It's a very strange team. You never know what you're going to get. They love the dramatic. They love those cinematic comebacks. Even it doesn't matter if you're a Super Bowl contender or if you're a team that's wanting to lose to get a better draft pick. The Broncos will get a classic out of you. It's what they did with the Commanders. What a terrible situation they're in, man. Like, there was no reason to play Jaden Daniels today. Like, you could have just sat him out for the rest of the year, and instead you bring him out there. He's just coming off an injury. Like, you're really not playing for anything because you're not going to make the playoffs. The whole year has been a disaster, And to top it off, he gets injured again. Like, why? Why? Why even take the risk, man? It's just RG3 all over again. Have they learned nothing? Have they learned nothing? Shit, they should have just kept Mariota in there with how he was playing against Denver last week. That way you can have a good game and still lose. So you get a better draft pick. Damn, it's really they brought the card out there now. So it must be real bad. Got a little over 12 minutes to go in the first half. This game has been flying by. I mean, that first quarter there was 2 possessions just the entire quarter. So we will see how the Broncos, and we're going back to commercial break. So that's how you know it's a really rough one. If he's been down for that long, and they had to bring the card out, I have to go to 2 commercial breaks. I mean, prayers up to him. Let me check my fantasy score again. Probably close to losing, I would guess. No, I mean, at least right now, I'm up by 40 points right now, and I'm projected to only win by 0.38 points. So literally about as close as you can get. Jamar Chase only got me 7 points today. Joe Burrow had to carry the load because Jamar Chase just didn't want to come play today. And to make things worse, I benched Michael Pittman, and he ended up getting 12 points with Riley Leonard. That's the thing. It wasn't even like Daniel Jones was in. He got hurt. What a nightmare. Commander Falcon Jets Brown. Yeah. Officially today. I know some teams have already been out for a couple weeks at least. So yeah. So now it's really just like, why did you play him then? Like, why did you play Jaden Daniels? You might as I know if he's healthy and he's ready to go, you can't really tell the guy it'd be kind of messed up to tell the guy no, we're not going to play you. Like, I don't think there probably would be some tanking stuff that if he's healthy and he wants to play and you're sitting him out, there has to be a legitimate reason, and it can't just be because we want a better pick or But I don't think you don't even have to say that. It's why would you want to risk that in a lost year? Why would you want to risk him getting hurt again when he came into the year hurt? He got hurt during the year again, and then you bring him back out. Why would you do that? That's your franchise quarterback. Like I said, it's like they've learned nothing from RG3. It's eerie how similar that is. Except he didn't get hurt on the terrible FedEx Field turf. He just got hurt just from a freak accident with his arm. Caillou Blue Kelly, second-year DB from Stanford, going off the field now. 3rd and 8 here for the Broncos at their own 47-yard line. Bo Nix will drop back the pass. Raiders are sending some pressure. Bo is going to run. He's going to throw over to Cortland Sutton, who does make the catch in Raiders territory. There is a flag down, so we'll see what that is. I think they're going to call holding on the defense, what the ref is signaling. So it should still stand and be a first down for Broncos country. Good catch there by Sutton. Good adaptability there by Bo Nix. Way to make some moves with his feet. Raiders' defensive line has been getting a little bit of pressure today when Bo Nix has actually had to kind of make his reads and not just have someone immediately open. Yeah, that was holding for sure. Wouldn't have mattered anyways, but because I got the first down. First down here for the Broncos go 3-by-1. Bo Nix will drop back to pass. He's going to check it down to Tyler Beatty, who's going to make a move, and he's going to get about 6 yards on that catch. So this may not even be a shootout, more so it's just a game with no defense, because you're just going to have these long drives, these 8-minute drives. You're going to have 4 drives per half total. This Broncos now second down here, 2nd and 5, with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Trying to respond, give their defense some time to rest. I can just tell personnel-wise what they're going to do more than likely, because they got Lil Jordan Humphrey in there. They got these guys tight to the line. As once again, like, Max Crosby gets in the backfield. I mean, why? I don't. Oh my God! Like, there's no way. I gotta see who's they're actually assigning to block him, because Adam Troutman again, dude. It's Adam Troutman. I mean, he made a good move, but it's just zone blocking, and Adam Troutman he's been getting destroyed by him today. That's 2 times already that Troutman has been just beaten blocking. That's straight up zone, man. Like, maybe he was able to read that. Maybe he knew where it was going. He watched some film, but man, like, that's a brutal way to lose 3 yards. The Raiders send the house now. Bo Nix going to throw it to Courtland Sutton, who looked like he caught it there, but no flag. 4th down for the Broncos. Oh, do we suck? Do we suck? Is that what it is? Do we suck? And that was, I mean, a good play by Porter, but Sutton, I mean, it hit him in the body. Like, I think he could have caught that. Now they're sending Will Lutz out there to kick the field goal, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know how long this field goal is. Tried this last time. 58-yard field goal for Will Lutz. Or not. I guess. Whatever. Chiefs can be eliminated from the division if the Chiefs lose and the Broncos or Chargers win. Yeah, the Chiefs would be... Yeah, they definitely wouldn't be able to beat the Broncos, because they would have 7 losses and the Broncos would have 11 wins. So, yeah. So, delay a game here for Denver. They'll send Jeremy Crawshaw out there to punt. We'll see. He's been kind of a wild card this year. Last time they played the Raiders, he punted like shit. So, we'll see if he can have a bounce-back day against the Raiders. I keep almost saying Oakland for some reason, because that's how old I am. I remember back in the day when they played in Oakland. Crawshaw's punt is up. Fair catch here for Turner inside the 5-yard line. So the good field position for the Broncos defense here as they hope to stop the mighty Las Vegas Raiders as we go to commercial break. 10 minutes to go in the quarter. So a promising drive ends up getting killed because of horrible play. I mean, it was a good play by Max Crosby. I'm one to believe that maybe he may have seen what was coming. Personnel-wise, I mean, if you see guys like Lil Jordan Humphrey and Mercedes Lewis out there, like especially, or if you see like Adam Troutman, he's hand down with Lil Jordan Humphrey in a tight set, like you have like twins tight to the boundary and a hand down tight end. Like that's an obvious run set, especially with the personnel he got in. You got Adam Troutman hand down and Lil Jordan Humphrey as a receiver. Like they're not in there to catch balls. I mean, Adam Troutman does a little bit, but Lil Jordan Humphrey, like he's in there to block. He's in there to block. That should be a dead giveaway. Same thing with, like I said, Mercedes Lewis. If they're in there, you're running the ball. The Broncos, like their personnel it makes it so obvious sometimes what they're doing. If someone like me who doesn't watch I don't watch a lot of Broncos film or that sort of thing. If I can tell what likely you're gonna do before the ball is snapped because of the personnel in there, like it's just there's something about that offense, man. Jacoby Brissett is there against the Raiders. I guess did he just throw a touchdown pass? Yeah, he did, because the Rams can't help me at all. That would be stupid. The only plus to this game, how it's going right now, is the Broncos. That my opponent in fantasy has the Broncos defense. So, if the Broncos defense does suck today, at least that'll help me maybe win a fantasy game. But I would prefer if the Broncos just locked in and won and quit playing with their food, because they're doing it again. They're doing it yet again. Make Broncos country want to cry. And I know, like, it's a division game, so it's going to be different, of course. We'll see how this drive goes before I make any more claims here. As the Broncos lead the NFL in sacks with 51, and the Raiders allowed the second most sacks in the NFL with 46. There's Geno Smith here. We got I formation here. Trey Tucker going in motion. They're going to look like they're going to hand it off to Ashton Jeanty, but no, they're going to dump it off to Jeanty, who's going to make his way back up close to the line of scrimmage, but it's still going to be a loss of 1. He dumped it off to him in the end zone. It was a very dangerous pass for Geno Smith. And yeah, they're showing, like, it's the quick snap to pass. Like, that's what you need to beat this defense, I guess. You can't waste a lot of time because they do have talent on the defensive line, but it's going to get negated if you're getting the ball out quick. You're going to have to put more trust in your secondary. 2nd and 11 here for the Raiders. Geno Smith 6 for 6 on the day. Going to drop back to pass here in his own end zone. He's going to throw it over to 18. They're going to call a flag on Surtain. Are you serious? What? For that? Oh my God, dude. Why? Why? Let me see. They're hand fighting though. Like, you're gonna call that on Surtain when they're both like going at it. Dude, come on, man. Like, what are we doing this for the Raiders for? Why? It's the Raiders. There's no need for this. I tell you. Oh, my God. So the Raiders now have it at their own 11-yard line. Got a lot more room to work with, so I assume we're going to see a run here to Ashton Jeanty. Brock Bowers blocking now. As Jeanty finds a hole, he's going to rush for about 4 yards. It's going to be one of those days. I can say it all I want, but it's still annoying. It's still annoying to watch. I don't think that was PI, personally. Like, I think Geno just threw it over there because he knew they would throw a flag then. Because, like, he looked like he was blocking. Like, it looked like he was engaged in a block, and you're going to throw a flag on that? 2nd and 5 here for the Raiders. Brock Bowers goes in motion. He's going to get set here. Geno Smith drops back. He's going to look. He's going to get sacked by Malcolm Roach and Zach Allen. So good play here by former New Orleans Saint. League-leading 52nd sack for the Denver Broncos here. Just overloading that left side of the offensive line here. Got 2 guys basically going in the same gap. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but they found a way to get back to Geno Smith, and we got 3rd and long here for the Raiders. 3rd and 13. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. What's Vance Joseph going to dial up here? Watch for Brock Bowers possibly going down the field and streaking, or we'll see if the Raiders want to play it more safe. Good get off by Nick Bonito. They're going to hand it off to Ashton Jeanty. He's going to run, but fuck, they may have just gotten Bonito on an offside, man. I don't know. They threw a flag. I thought it was just a good get off. God, dude. Offside on Nick Bonito, so Broncos stay on the field because we just can't quit getting in our own way. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 for the Raiders as Bonito stays on the field. I just don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about any Broncos game anymore, dude. 3rd and 8. Raiders got trips to the boundary here. Tight trips. As 17 goes in motion. Geno Smith steps back to pass. He's gonna look to throw. He's gonna run. He's gonna get sacked again. This time by John Franklin Myers. Extend that man. Extend that man. If someone someone needs to know. Extend John Franklin Myers, dude. Extend him. He has more than earned his extension, and he is a very solid contributor on the defensive line. Great way to stay with the play, get off the block, and bring Geno Smith down. Good work there by the secondary. Brock Bowers got switched on by Riley Moss. Maybe if Geno had a look, he could have thrown it to him, but too much work and pressure by the defensive line, and the Broncos defense comes up with a huge stop. And should have great field position here for Marvin Mims. He's going to try to return it, shed a block. He's going to run. He's going to go. He's going to go. He's got one man to beat. He's got the punter. Oh, he's going to go. He's going to score. Touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims with the first punt return touchdown of his career. And what a time to do it. Marvin Mims. And I just realized that I'm playing a guy with the Broncos defense and special teams, so I definitely just gave up 6 points. But I will take it. The Marvin Mims finally scoring a touchdown on a punt return. Only the second return touchdown of his career. This one gives the Broncos the lead right back. Field position matters. Great work by the Broncos defense to pin the Raiders deep. Now Marvin Mims does the rest. Great blocks there. I think that was J.L. Skinner, I want to say. Yeah, it was. J.L. Skinner and P.J. Locke, good downfield blocking. The Broncos take the lead back as Will Lutz splits the uprights. Great looks there. Great job. All around, Broncos defense does what they need to do. And the special teams gets a rare highlight there. They've been a sight for sore eyes at times, the Broncos special teams, but this time around, they get the job done. It gets the Broncos back on top, 14-7. There we go. Special teams has been a kind of an area of concern for Denver this year, especially when they didn't have Marvin Mims. That was when it was really bad. Like return-wise, when we muffed the punt, like they had their flaws, especially early in the year when they got that leverage penalty to lose the game to the Colts. But they're doing what they need to do right now. Not going to hold that against them too much. Seen the stuff in the college football playoff today. That's been all crazy to see unfold. Especially like with teams like Notre Dame not getting in. Me personally, I'm glad that Notre Dame didn't get in because like Notre Dame just the entire year, like if they had beaten either Miami or Texas A&M, they would I would say they should get in. Straight up, because that's a quality win, and especially when you're compared to like if they beat Miami, then yeah, they definitely should have got in. But because they lose those two games, which are the only two like big games on your schedule, there's no way they should have been ranked that high to begin with. Honestly, like whoever thinks that Notre Dame should just be put in the top 10 to start the year just automatically is I don't understand that. They don't play anybody throughout the year because they're not in a conference. And yeah, it helps them. It helps them like money wise because they get to keep all of it. They have their own exclusive deal with like NBC, and they don't have to share any like conference revenue if they do go far. Like last year when they made the national championship, they got to keep all the money from that. They didn't have to split it with anybody because they're in their own. You know, they're independent. But it comes back to bite you whenever you're close to being on. Like you're on the bubble, and they have to go to strength of schedule and head to head, because now like. There's not much to work with. You're playing Ball State and Navy. Like, what do you want them to say? So see if the Broncos special teams here can make a good play defensively now as they stop the Raiders returner at around the 30-yard line. That's Raheem Mostert, actually. Former Pro Bowler and then fantasy football bust. Yeah, I'm definitely losing my fantasy game now. Son of a bitch. Oh man, the one week that my team wants to show up, the one week that my some of my fantasy players want to show up and score points, I'm gonna still lose because of the damn Denver Broncos. Damn it all. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Geno Smith back there with Ashton Genty. He will drop back to pass. Gonna go some quick game here. Throw it over to Trey Tucker, who breaks the tackle from Chris Abrams' drain and gets the first down. You know, here's a crazy idea. What if, now hear me out, what if we build a 2-score lead? Well, I know. Crazy to propose that to the Broncos, but it's just a thought. You can do it. I think you can. Build a 2-score lead, and then after that, get a stop, do a 3-score lead. And then, like, don't go down to the wire. First down for Geno Smith and the Raiders. He's tossed it to Ashton Jeanty. Decent blocking on the perimeter, but Ashton Jeanty's going to get stuffed, but push forward for a couple extra yards and get down to 2nd and 7. Yeah, I know, like, I know Broncos. I know you really, like, you have the momentum. I know you really want to bring this down to a 1-score, like, last-second win, or just game in general. I don't know if you're going to win, but just a last-second game and a close one. But we can win a game by more than 1 score. You've done it this year twice, I think. Twice. I know they beat the Cowboys by 20. Here we go. 5 minutes to go here. 2nd and 7 for the Raiders. The Broncos are sending pressure. Sternad is wide open, but Geno Smith does get the throw off. Just a little outside for Ashton Jeanty. If he did connect, that probably was going to be a touchdown. That was surely going to be a touchdown for Ashton Jeanty because you see him just roll out. He's going on a wheel route here. Had only Tillman covering him. I think Hufanga may have made the tackle, but nevertheless, it would have been a first down at the very least. 3rd down here again for the Raiders offense. Always watching Brock Bowers. Especially on 3rd down, they're always looking for them big shots across the middle of the field. We saw they covered Zach Ertz last week as Geno Smith drops back to pass. Broncos are sending pressure. Nothing comes up. Oh, Zach Allen almost picked it off. But it's still 4th down. The Broncos will get the ball back. That would have been glorious if we would have had a thick 6 right there from big number 99, Zach Allen. Very, very low-key pickup from the Broncos a couple of years ago. They got him in 2023. 2023, I think that was his first year. Damn, they hit him right in the hand, too. But it's been really cool seeing him turn into, like, an all-pro caliber player in Mile High. Because I remember looking at his stats when we first signed him, and I wondered, like, why the hell did we sign this guy? But he's been pretty good. As A.J. Cole now comes out again. Last time they played the Broncos, he had some of the best punts you will ever see out of a punter. They're going to punt away from Marvin Mims. He's going to catch it at the Broncos' 13-yard line. So still a good punt for A.J. Cole. Raiders not wanting to allow another miscue on special teams as they go to commercial. Broncos up 14-7 with less than 5 to go. The defense looks like they've woken up a bit. Remember who they're playing. See, the offense now can go out there and, like I said, I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy to propose this, but you can be up by 10, 14, 17, 20, 21, 24. So many numbers you can be up by that doesn't include 7 or 3 or 1. It doesn't have to be less than 7 points. It can be more than that. You can win a football game without having to, cause your fans to lose years off their lives. Wouldn't that be something? But again, like, just a thought. Sean Payton, if you're listening, if you're out there, I know you got to be right. You got to be watching the Young Money Sports, the Young Money Sports content. So just checking the. I always like to check the views on the video, see how it's doing. Like I said, I'm very, very pleased that it's doing so well. Because I haven't had a video like go do well like that in probably like 5 months. Maybe even longer than that. I think the last one was like the Dwayne Wade video back in I want to say June. Or something like that. But I have a lot more video ideas football wise that I want to get done. like this is the time I think, because I know my bigger videos are like normally basketball, but I think this is the time of year where like people are so locked in on football. Because I mean, you got the NFL season, you got right now, especially you got bowl season coming up, college football playoff, NFL playoffs are going to start here in a month. A lot of football going on. Basketball normally takes center stage around springtime. But this is the time I think it's best to get my football videos out. Like I have another Florida State video. I have a one on bowl season. I'd like to get one out on UMass football. I think that'd be interesting. It's Bo Nix here. Once again, we're going with the obvious run set as Mercedes Lewis checks in for the Broncos. RJ Harvey will get the ball for modest gain here, about 4 or 5 yards. So we get 9 straight wins despite trailing in each game. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about this team, they've won 9 games in a row, and each one they've been trailing. It's fun. It's great. Very good for your heart. If you want to like improve the health of your heart, you watch a Broncos game, dude. 2nd and 6 here for Bo Nix and the Broncos. He's going to fake the handoff, going to roll out, throw it to Lil Jordan Humphrey once again. Get it over to the Broncos 22-yard line. So playing a little bit there with their personnels. If that's good, they want to switch it up and kind of keep the defense on their toes, not make it feel like it's automatically a run or a pass either way with the personnel you have out there. Good work there. Good play call, and the Broncos pick up another first down. So 1st and 10, clock is ticking. And keep in mind, the Raiders get the ball to start the half. So if the Broncos can go into the half with some points on the board, then we can keep that momentum despite not getting the ball here. Little Jordan Humphrey still in the game, though, for Denver. Got Adam Troutman out there at tight end. Bo Nix drops back to pass. Going to throw it to Troutman. Troutman's going to keep moving. He's going to push forward for another first down at the Broncos' 36-yard line. So they're getting good chunks here. Not really time yet to move. Not time to go high tempo or anything. I think once you get closer to midfield, inside the 2-minute warning, that's when you think about using your timeouts or just going a little quicker. But good second effort there by Adam Troutman. Push forward and get that first down. Getting close to the 2-minute warning. 2:38 to go. Next play, as long as it keeps the clock going, and Bo Nix fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out, throw it over to RJ Harvey. He's going to have a little bit of room. He's going to get about 3 yards. Took about 3 guys to bring him down. But they're going to keep the clock running. Broncos will take the stoppage. And we are likely going to the 2-minute warning unless there's just a surprise timeout here. Good blocking by Mercedes Lewis on Max Crosby, which says a lot about both Broncos tight ends. I haven't seen them go to Evan Ingram today a lot. I don't think he's even got a target. I believe he's playing. I didn't check the injury report, so he could be hurt. I don't know. I hope he's not. But I think that would explain the heavier usage of Troutman and Mercedes Lewis. Let me see. No, Evan Ingram's just not getting targets. We'll see. See if Evan Ingram will find his place in this game. It'd be funny to see a Mercedes Lewis touchdown. That dude was like, I think he entered the league back in like 07. I'm pretty sure that's when. It was either 07 or 06. It's been a long time. Like I said, the guy he's like 41 or 42 years old. But like 07, I think that was like Jamarcus Russell. Or I think that was Jamarcus Russell. That was the number 1 pick that year. And the guy's still in the league. Oh, man. Sharks are playing right now, too, so I'm kind of keeping up with that. By the way, this is, for anyone wondering, this is not a Melvin Gordon jersey. I would never stoop that low to wear that trash. This is a Chris Harris Jr. jersey. You know, the real 25. God. I should have talked more about Melvin Gordon in that video, man. Of course, it wasn't the focus, but what a waste. What a waste that guy was in Denver. Just stats looked all right. Stats look good, but like when he's the main running back and he fumbles so much, it's just such a frustrating ordeal. Could not for the life of him go a game without fumbling. And then he won a Super Bowl that year. Like, we cut him in 22, I think. And then he joined the Chiefs and won a Super Bowl. I mean, good on him. Go get you a ring. But that didn't help. That didn't help how that year went. So, yeah. Broncos have a shitty year. Chiefs win the Super Bowl. And the Raiders win. Not the Raiders. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Or Melvin Gordon wins the Super Bowl. My God, I can't speak. Too focused on what's going on the screen. 2nd and 6 here for the Broncos. Coming out of the 2-minute warning. We had Mercedes Lewis in the backfield with R.J. Harvey, but now it's just Harvey as he's going to get the ball, but Max Crosby comes completely unblocked. R.J. Harvey's going to keep moving his feet, and he's going to get it around, I think there's 2 yards short. I'm going to 3rd and 2. So, I mean, good work here from Harvey. You know, keep moving that. I'm going to try that again. Good work from Harvey here. He's going to keep moving those feet, getting those extra yards, and make it a lot more manageable for this Broncos offense. 3rd and 1 here. I think you want to play it a little safer. If you can get the first down here, you can confidently, take the ball into the half and try to score. Just want to keep it out of the Raiders' hands. As bad as that is to say, I never like that play call, but R.J. Harvey makes it work, and he gets dragged down to the 50-yard line. 5-yard pickup there for R.J. Harvey, who's having a pretty solid day today. It's a bit of a mixed thing here with when you have 3rd and when it's an obvious running situation and you go away from just handing it off up the middle. Like, it just you kind of pick and choose. Sometimes it's like, I think for that situation, it was best to do something like that because, like, the Raiders have shown that when they bring a lot more people on the line, they can stuff the run game. So you want to kind of catch them off guard, pitching it out to the boundary there where there's probably not as many people. Got a minute and 2 seconds to go. I believe the Broncos called timeout. Yeah, so the Broncos call timeout. 2 timeouts left for the Broncos as they have a minute and 2 to go. First down and 10 from, I believe, midfield. You'd like to get, you'd like to get like 10 to 15 more yards to get Will Lutz in a good, comfortable spot as Bo Nix drops back to pass here. The Raiders are sending pressure once again. They ran more of a twist stunt. Bo Nix going to roll out, throw to, oh my God, Troy Franklin got lit up, but thankfully seems to be all right. That could have been disastrous because he initially looked like he's getting ready for a concussion. Bounced off his head and, whew, man, that just grazed him. I think Bo should have just ran the ball, though, man. Like, I know you want to make those plays with your legs and get more chunk plays, but sometimes it's like if you see a lot of green grass in front of you, like, you got to just take those yards, man. Run out of bounds, get closer for your field goal kicker. Because if you don't get anything here, then, you're really just screwed up as he drops back to pass once more. Bo's going to throw over to Evan Ingram. Speak of the devil, and he will get inside the Raiders' 45-yard line, get it to around the 43. So right now, if you get nothing here, you're setting yourself up for a 60-yard field goal. Which, as much as I like Will Lutz, there aren't many kickers I'm trusting to kick a 60-yard field goal. Maybe, Brandon Aubrey, of course. He's just automatic. Bo Nix throws to Sutton, and he just drops it. So what do you do? It's such a weird spot to be in. So it looks like Sean Payton is sending the. Let me see. Let me see. It looks like they're keeping the offense out there. So we'll see if they actually get something off here, or they maybe just want to call a timeout. See what they do. Field goal here is just not ideal for Will Lutz. Bo Nix going to throw over to Troy Franklin, who does hang on to it. I think there's a timeout. Yeah, okay. They call it timeout. Good job hanging on to the ball there by Troy because he kind of got lit up. I didn't know if they were going to call. It did kind of come out of his hands for a second there, but he managed to wrangle it back in before he went down. Yeah, good job securing the ball. He's gotten a lot better this year, I think, and just making basic catches too. Because like we had so many issues last year with this receiving core just dropping balls, but for the most part, under review, that's a catch. What are you talking about? In what world is that not a catch? There's no way, right? That's a catch, especially when you call it a catch. So it does bobble, but he brings it right back in. Oh my God, they're calling like a spot. That's annoying. Because I bet you then, like, because but he had it and then he got knocked out and he brought it back in. Like, I don't know if that's gonna be like, because they're talking about now, like, yeah, he may have caught it, but was he past the line to gain? When he actually secured it. That's what they're saying. Which, knowing Denver's luck with some of these calls, there's a good chance that it'll be a catch, but it won't be at the line. That's just how it goes. Broncos country could be riding right now. We'll see how this call turns out. See if Broncos country can get the benefit of the doubt. Don't like that it's taking them this long, though. That's never a great thing. Maybe the NFL just wanted to go to commercial break. Who knows? I think next time I do one of these, and I keep saying it over and over again, I need to actually, like, get, like, a good setup in terms, like, the score needs to be on top, and I want to actually have something to the side where it's not just sitting there with the standings there. So we'll see what the call is here. Oh my God, I told you they do that. My God, dude. Like, what? What are the odds? Oh my God. Of course. Now the Raiders will probably go and kick a field goal here because that's how things go. Geno Smith drops back the pass, going to throw over to Trey Tucker. Did he catch that? No, they said incomplete. I was about to say, dude. You know, they hit the ground. Most definitely hit the ground. I mean, if we don't give up any points here, it's not going to be too consequential. I just don't want any big splash plays to like Brock Bowers or something, or Trey Tucker, and they get points going into the half, because that's gonna lead to something disastrous. I can tell you. For as long as I've been watching this team, not just this year, but stuff like that, it does come back to haunt teams. It does come back to haunt you. There's Raheem Mostert's in the game now for the Raiders. I believe that's the first time he's checked in all day on offense. How the mighty have fallen. Smith drops back again. He's going to throw to Tyler Lockett. I forgot Tyler Lockett is still just in the league. Yeah, just don't like it. Not one bit. Just God, would you just been better punting the ball right there then? I don't know. That's why I don't pay me to do this. That's why I'm not an NFL head coach. 3rd and 3 here for the Raiders. 14 seconds to go in the half. Raiders have 1 timeout. Broncos have 2. Geno Smith is now talking to his offensive line, probably changing the play based on the personnel. Back up to pass. Broncos getting decent pressure now. Geno's going to look. He's going to throw over to Trey Tucker, blocked down by Pat Surtain. So there's 7 seconds to go in the half. So in 4th down. So good work by the defense, not letting anything up there late. Good work by Surtain, swatting that away with one hand, and the Broncos should be getting the ball back to end the half. I wouldn't see why. Oh, they're trying. Okay, so they're just gonna set up for a Hail Mary, or the Broncos are gonna call a timeout. As long as we don't give up a Hail Mary here, the Broncos will be in a good spot going into halftime. Raiders are keeping the offense on the field. God, 8 for 21 on 4th down this season, so I don't. Unless you're going for just something real quick, maybe, because like they know the Broncos can't really do anything with probably like 4 seconds. I mean, doesn't look like they're spreading the defense out that much. Do have 3 down, so 4th and 3 for the Raiders. Maybe looking to do something, but thinking against it. The Raiders will call their final timeout. I guess just trying to get the Broncos to jump off sides, get a free 1st down, but likely thinking again. Or are they still keeping the offense on the field? I mean, it can't be this deep, right? Like, no idea what's going on right now. Geno Smith, time is winding down. He's going to try to throw it. He's going to get sacked with 3 seconds to go, 2 seconds. So the Broncos will have a chance to kick a field goal here to go up by 2 scores going into halftime. It'll be about a 59 to 60 yard, but I mean, they still will have a chance. No, there's definitely not zeros on the clock. There's not zeros on the clock. There's no way. No, there's 2 seconds left. Yeah, there's no way. They were about to say there's 0 seconds left. Because they sacked him, yeah, there's 3 seconds left whenever he goes down. And it's a 60-yarder here for Will Lutz. Just a bad sack given up by Geno Smith. We'll see if the Broncos can make them pay. Or Bo Nix is staying on the field now. I don't know what are we doing? This is the longest end to a half I've ever seen. So actually, it would be a 61-yard field goal. So the Broncos are thinking against it. And will instead send Bo out there to maybe just chuck it. I don't know why they're so tight to the line, though. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. They are running a play. Bo will drop back. He's just going to chuck it. We'll see if they can do something. It looks like it's going to go too far. No. So we'll go to halftime. Weird game here in Las Vegas. So the Broncos will go into halftime up 14-7. Raiders will get the ball, start the half. Good effort there by Pat Bryant. Hit him in the hands too, man. If he was able to come down with that. So on the opening drive, the Raiders had 70 yards. Of course, scored that touchdown. And then the last 3 drives only managed to get 18 yards total. So the Broncos defense has been able to adjust and get back in this game. And as a result, the Broncos are up 14-7 at halftime. I'm getting points from R.J. Harvey, so that's. But the Broncos defense has 13 points for him. I need R.J. Harvey to have a big half and keep pace here. It's going to be a close one. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it wasn't a bad half of the Broncos for sure, but you could have expected more. I think the offense had a good opening drive and kind of stagnated. And like there was never a drive where they're just outright terrible, but they would get to a point where they would just stagnate and lose momentum, either by a loss, 3-yard loss, or an incompletion. Got to cut that down. Defense, like I said, had a very bad opening drive, but was able to rebound, and they've looked a lot better as of late. Had a questionable penalty, but it didn't really result in anything, so no harm, no foul. They have been able to get more pressure on Geno Smith. If it wasn't for that big splash play by Marvin Mims, we could be a tie game right now. Because he was initially it looked like he was down by at the 45. I thought the Broncos maybe could have just kicked a field goal at the end of the half, but I don't blame him for just wanting to just chuck it because it was such a. You don't want to give up anything stupid like a block for a touchdown or anything that could give the Raiders some momentum going into the half. You just want to be just chuck it up, see what happens, and have it be just a neutral play at the end of the day. I'm sorry if that the water actually you could hear that in the mic. It's bad. Don't know what the other scores are around the league right now. It says the Packers are beating the Bears 7-0 already. Jordan Love passed to Christian Watson. Lost his first name there for a second. Cardinals and the Rams here now. Rams are up 17-10. Trying to bounce back from that ugly loss to Carolina last week. The Steelers and the Ravens in a huge divisional matchup here. So the Steelers now take sole possession of the division lead. That's like that team is just so like the whole AFC North should just be like thrown into a fire. Like that division, you just got the old ass Steelers, the injured Ravens, the remnants, like the second half Bengals and the Browns. I can't open this bottle of water. Hold on. Josh Allen I think, didn't they say he's like the all-time leader in rushing touchdowns for a quarterback now? Like he broke it last week. The Dolphins are now 6-7. They're what are they doing? They've had such like an easy schedule though. Like it's just false hope for their fans. They're showing the Bucs defense selling me right here because 3 guys missed that sack on Tyler Shuck. I don't know how. Like I don't even think he ever did anything like that at Louisville. Seahawks beating up on the poor Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins. Another very disappointing team that's been hampered by him. Just, I mean, you could probably say injury, but also like they still have their guys. They have Bijan. They have London. They have like it's such a what a shit show. So the Broncos cannot clinch they can't clinch a playoff spot this week because I think if the Chiefs beat the Texans, well, actually, hold on. I don't know how they wouldn't. Maybe because of the teams on the outside. There are other teams that have 6 losses. But, like, the Broncos had the head-to-head over Houston. If they win today, they would be automatically over them. But if they win, then they can't be overtaken by Kansas City. All right. No, they can't because they still have to play one more game. So, yeah, I think next week, if they win today, would be the time that they can clinch a playoff spot. But can't be looking forward too much. Just got to focus on what you can control today, and that's what the Broncos are trying to do right now. It's like I said, it's 14-7, but God bless, I can't open this stupid water. It's like they were one big splash special teams play away from this being a tie game. Bo has been good today, I believe. I think there were a couple of times he could have just ran with it. God bless it. I am falling apart. I think he could have ran with it instead of just. I get where he's coming from because he has made good plays, moving around, rolling out, and then finding a guy like throwing on the run. But I think there are other times where like just run the ball, just take the free yards, especially if you have a lot in front of you. Like you might as well. But I guess on the other side of that coin, it's like you don't want to like turn that into a habit. I don't know if that changed anything. I just put my browser source like below my audio input capture. I don't know if that changed anything. Does my audio sound any different? Like I legitimately I can't tell. I don't know if that changed anything or if it's just superfluous. This is the most difficult water bottle I've ever had to open in my life. I've keep in mind I've opened this thing 3 times now, like to take drinks from it, and still it don't want to like just work on me here. We should be getting close here to the game coming back. I think the primetime game of the night, they said, is Kansas City and Houston. So I want Houston to win that game, but I don't know. I try to avoid the Kansas City Chiefs as much as I can. I just don't like watching them play. Just especially like I'll say with I was gonna say with Chris Collinsworth. By God, like after seeing Tony Romo this year, I legit think that like I owe an apology to Chris Collinsworth. I didn't know it could get any worse. But now it's like Tony Romo is just slobbering on the dude's knob any chance he gets. Like I watched the Broncos Chiefs game, and like it was like everything he did, Tony Romo was just glazing the hell out of him, man. Like I know Mahomes is good, but golly, man. Like he was like, I remember there was one time he's like, the Broncos hit him on a, like, they didn't even take him to the ground. They hit him after he threw the ball, and he's like, oh, they're making him angry. Like, ooh. It's like, shut up. Like, it's not funny when you're doing it just for one guy, because you don't have that same energy for Bo Nix. It's not like you're complimenting both sides here when you were just like so in love with one quarterback and you don't have that same energy for the other guy. Of course, it's going to look really bad. Like, he would just bring up Patrick Mahomes every chance he got, and he does that whenever they call Chiefs games, even when Mahomes is not on the field. Like I think they said at the Cowboys game, because I watched Pern's video on Romo yesterday. He's like, Dak Prescott had a deep throw to CeeDee Lamb for a big first down. You think Romo would be all over that, former Cowboy and everything. And he's like, this is something that we see, that Mahomes-Kelsey-esque connection. It's like, just how about Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb? That's the connection. Not everything's got to be about Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are not good enough this year to justify, still, just glazing the hell out of them. And I personally, I would love that dynasty just to fall right now. You know how awesome it would be to see Mahomes just play on shitty Chiefs teams for the rest of his career? Be amazing. Have Bo Nix take control of the AFC West. That would be something. Sharks are in a tie game right now. 1-1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. I need to get to work on. I mentioned that I'm going to do the Florida State video. That'll probably be my next one. I'd like to get that out this week. Haven't started the script yet, but I normally can get that done in a day or two. Especially if it's something that I am personally connected with, I have a lot easier time writing these scripts. That's why the Broncos script that I just did, that. That took me a while just because it was a bit longer than a normal one that I do. But it's still for the most part, it was able just to flow. A lot of what I pulled and what I said was just from up here, just from what I remember. I'm kind of just verifying stuff through box scores and highlights and articles. But the whole process, when it's a team that, the Florida State video that I did last year, that was another one where it's it's just flowing. Most of the videos I do, I feel like I do a good amount of research for those videos, especially the Was He Any Good videos, because that involves because I know these guys' careers when they were in their peak, when they were in their prime, but it's leading up, what leads up to why they made their way over to this random team, and how they feel about it as we're back here in the second half. Raheem Mostert gets it out to the 30-yard line, tripped up by Justin Sternad. their way. Not let the Raiders get any hope. I mean, you want to snuff that out as quickly as you can, especially in the second half when your defense has to go out there and make another statement. We'll see what they can do. First and 10 here for Geno Smith and the Raiders. Got Ashton Jeanty back there once more as he's going to hand it off to Jeanty. That's going to get stuffed at the line by John Franklin Myers. They could blow the whistle maybe. The 2nd and 9 here for the Raiders. Good work there by JFM. First drive for the Raiders was a 6-minute touchdown drive, and ever since then, it's been not much productivity now. Going to hand it off again to Jeanty, this time being more of an outside zone. That, once again, is going to go for nothing. Stuffed by Alex Singleton. What a story that's been for him this year. Dude, his whole thing, that's like, it's scary, man. Like, being honest, like, the fact that, like he may not have even known what was going on with his whole situation before he got drug tested. We got 3rd and 8 for the Raiders now. As Geno Smith will drop back to pass now, getting some pressure on him. Zach Allen is coming there, getting pressure now. Almost got the pick. That was, I think that was Barron maybe. But nonetheless, incomplete pass. Broncos will get the ball back as Geno Smith is grimacing there. Hand is a bit spread out. Can't get all the words processing in my head. I make sure like the thing goes right first while I'm calling it, and it's just such a weird spot to be in. Yeah, Barron. Oh, it hit his hands, dude. That would have been a pick. Ugh. Great pressure by Benito and Zach Allen especially. Getting to Geno Smith. A.J. Cole back out there to punt for the Raiders. Marvin Mims back to return. He's going to call he's going to call a fair catch, but of course does not get the Broncos bounce, and they will be inside their own 10-yard line to start off because they just can't help themselves. Like A.J. Cole just turns into I don't know, a good punter. I'm sorry. Turns into A.J. Cole, actually. I was just going to say that. He turns into himself, a better version of himself, even better version, when he plays the Broncos. Because he just... I mean, that game, that Thursday night game, he legit had some of the best punts that I've ever seen. Like, downing them inside the 1 multiple times. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Like, it would bounce at the inside the 1 and then go sideways, out of bounds. Like, what are the odds? That is wild. So we'll see what Bo Nix and the Broncos offense can do coming out of the half. Have the ball inside their own 10-yard line. That'll be a bit of a challenge, but see if they can bounce back here. Get another scoring drive maybe. Hand it off to R.J. Harvey. Get me those fantasy points. Get a touchdown, a rushing touchdown with R.J. Harvey. That'd be ideal. I know, like I said, Sean, I know you're listening. So a few things here. Hand it off to R.J. Harvey. Hand it off to R.J. Harvey. And hand it off to R.J. Harvey. That's right. Yeah. All those things, you'll really help me out. I appreciate it. No, I've been critical of you. Maybe not on stream, so there's nothing about that yet. But just help me out here. It would really do me a lot. You do me a solid right here. And give the ball to your rookie running back from UCF. I wish that J.K. Dobbins didn't get hurt, though, man. That is depressing because, like, he was going to have a 1,000-yard year. He was. He gave life back to a very flaccid Broncos rushing attack. And then it's like, nope. J.K. Dobbins can't have anything nice. It's a damn hip drop tackle. Which I'm not one of those guys that is like, oh, ban the hip drop tackle, because, like, you're only making it harder for players to play defense. I think that's ridiculous to ban a form of tackling like that. It's first down. Bo Nix will roll out, going to throw over to Cortland Sutton. He runs back. He's going to fight forward for a couple more yards. Be a gain of about 6. But yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, ban the hip drop tackle, because it can lead to injuries. And it has. But it's also football. It's football. Like, it's a contact sport. Like, it's not like like you can get hurt badly every single play. All you're doing is just screwing the defense over even more. As Bo Nix is going to fake again, he's going to throw over to Adam Prentice, the fullback, who's going to make a good move and get past the 20-yard line. Or a first down. There we go. Showing the Packers game right now is Jordan Love. I'm assuming he aired it out to Melton. So, Packers, I think if they win that game today, they would take control of the NFC North, I would assume. Bo Nix, they said, has not thrown a touchdown pass in the third quarter all year. We'll see if that can change as Bo Nix hands it off to Tyler. Well, I don't know, actually. I didn't see the 3 or the 2. But regardless, he gets about 3 or 4 yards here. That is Tyler Beatty. Or Bidet. I forget. It's Bidet. Why are we not handing it off to R.J. Harvey? Sean, I thought we talked. I thought we had this chat, Sean. Where is the R.J. Harvey handoffs, Sean? Where are they? You told me you were going to hook me up. Evan Ingram's back in there. 2nd and 6 for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix going to drop back to pass again. R.J. Harvey's going to block. Bo is going to throw over to Pat Bryant. Good moves by both Bryant and Bo Nix as he's going to get out to the 38-yard line. Great improvisation there from both receiver and quarterback. I mean, that was people may not see it, like Bo making a good play with his feet, Pat Bryant having to like readjust himself, catching the ball, spinning back around and getting extra yardage. As the year's gone on, he has definitely found a bigger part in this offense, not just pass blocking, but also just finding ways to get receptions and make big plays. First down here for Denver. Make some adjustments, stepping back, making sure they're not offsides. Adam Trapman motions back out. He's going to go all the way out, and they're going to hand off to R.J. Harvey, trying to spread the defense out even more. R.J. Harvey's going to make a couple men miss, going to break a tackle, and he's going to get down to about the 44-yard line, but there is a flag. It's going to be holding. That's going to be holding on Mike McGlinchey, which is probably, I'm going to take a guess here, probably killed the drive. I would say so. Just because, like, now, Mike McGlinchey. I'd like to see that play, though. They don't show holding plays as much, though. So now, 1st and 20 here for the Broncos, back inside their own 30-yard line. See how much they can get back here on this play as R.J. Harvey's going to roll back out. He's going to throw it over to Evan Ingram, who doesn't have much room. He's going to get maybe 2 yards. So that holding play is really showing to be a drive killer. Not as bad as a sack, but it's pretty devastating. If you're wanting to go down and score, you go from being close to midfield now to back inside your own 30-yard line. Bo Nix once again on 2nd and 18 drops back to pass. He's going to throw it over to R.J. Harvey. That's a face mask if there ever was one. There it is. They called it. Oh, my God. Damn. Shoo. So that will get the Broncos back near midfield and also get them a first down. So once again, at the time right now, no harm, no foul for the holding penalty. I mean, he damn near ripped his head off. That's Jamal Adams, by the way. Yeah, I mean, damn. Damn, dude, that's brutal. Just full on, like. Geno Smith is questionable to return to this game, having a hand injury. So we could see, I think, is it Gardner Minshew or Kenny Pickett that's back there, I think. I think it's Kenny Pickett. Yeah, I think it's Kenny Pickett. It's 1st and 10 for the Broncos at their own 48-yard line now. Got another run set in there. They're going to hand it off to Jaleel McLaughlin. He's going to find a hole. He's going to keep pushing. He's going to shed a tackle, and he's going to get into Raiders territory at the 41-yard line of the Raiders. So good run there from Jaleel McLaughlin. Once a primary target of this offensive rushing attack, kind of found himself in no man's land once they brought in J.K. Dobbins, but ever since that injury, he's been finding ways to make a couple plays every game and has, I think for the most part, done better with his elevated role. Now R.J. Harvey checks back in after that big run from Jaleel McLaughlin. Broncos now have it 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Bo's going to hand off to R.J. Harvey. Harvey looked like he had a hole for a second, but he's going to get stuffed at the line for no gain. Big challenge here for the Broncos, going up by more than one score in a football game. Yeah, I think there was just a good block shed by 52 for the Raiders, because it looked like for a second he had a good running lane, but just a good block shedding led to a stuff at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 here for the Broncos. Once again at the 41-yard line. R.J. Harvey stays in the game. Got Twins out there a bit tighter to the boundary. As Bo Nix drops back to pass, he's going to find R.J. Harvey, who's wide open in the flats. He's going to make a man miss and fall forward for almost a first down, but he's going to be a yard short. 49 yards rushing for R.J. Harvey. 20 yards receiving. So, hey, we're building up them fantasy points. Give me more of them. And then once you get down to the 1-yard line, if you get down there inside the 5, you hand it off to him and you score a touchdown. Get me my fantasy points, Sean. Get them to me. He's got 69 total yards. Nice. That's the real funny number, by the way. That's the real funny number. 3rd and 1 for the Broncos. They're not completely out of the woods yet. But for Hut 1, Hut 2, they're going to hand it off to Adam Prentice. Can we have a fullback touchdown? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I thought we were going to have a fullback touchdown for just a second. It was a 15-yard pickup from the fullback, Adam Prentice. What a run. I thought for half a second, like, we were going to have a fullback touchdown in 2025. That would have been amazing. He had all that space. He's just not fast enough to get by the safety. Look at him go, dude. We got to bring back the fullback. We got to bring back the Mike Allstotts of the world. That's crazy. 150 yards here for Bo Nix. The Broncos have it now at the 14-yard line. He's going to drop back to pass. Throw it over to Pat Bryant, who only gets about 2 yards. The Broncos are in a good spot here to go up by a whopping 2 scores, which is something that has not been done probably in forever, as the Broncos now have 20 plays in Raiders territory. Meanwhile, the Raiders, ever since that nice opening drive, have only managed to, this is total, including that drive, they have 25 total plays. Broncos here, 2nd and 7. They're going to go 3-by-1. Evan Ingram very tight to the line. Let's see if maybe we're going to go back to the running game. We're going to actually fake it to Pat Bryant. Going to throw it to Troy Franklin. Franklin's going to get about 3 more yards here. We're going to go 3rd and 4 inside the 10-yard line. Good blocking by the Broncos wide receivers. Give Troy Franklin that space he needed to catch that screen. Here we go, 3rd and 3. Once again, we got tight trips to the field now. R.J. Harvey, the running back. Bo Nix drops back to pass. Doesn't see anybody at first. Going to throw to R.J. Harvey. Needs that block by Troutman. R.J. Harvey's going to make his way inside the 5-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a Broncos first down. Key blocking there by Adam Troutman to get R.J. Harvey into space. Hell of a block there by Adam Troutman. Great job there. Great job by R.J. Harvey to make that move and fall forward for those extra yards. Complimentary football, baby. When you do your job, everybody's happy. So here we go. The Broncos now. It's an 8.5-minute drive going for 88 yards. They started inside their own 10-yard line now. Mercedes Lewis back in the game. Broncos in I formation. Clock is winding down. Little Jordan Humphrey's got to get set up. He does. The clock's going to... R.J. Harvey going to go in. He's going to rush in for the touchdown. Denver Broncos. Right? Hey, I got my fantasy points. Sean, my guy. Sean Payton hooking me up with them 6 fantasy points. And let's check my score. Hey, I'm winning now. Look at that, Sean. Look at that. That's history right there. I don't know if you can see. Probably can't. Yeah. Look at that. I messed up my camera. There we go. We're back. What a guy. 16 fantasy points for R.J. Harvey, and that will put the Broncos up 20-7 with the extra point pending from Mr. Will Lutz, and that is true. 91 yards in 9 minutes and 13 seconds for the Broncos, and they have gotten a 2-possession lead. Whoa. Look at that. They're moving. They've learned. Now we'll see what the defense does, because we're speaking very prematurely here. I'm so glad that R.J. Harvey was the one to get the touchdown and not Jaleel McLaughlin, because, like I said, Sean, I'm glad you listened to me this time. Next drive, pending a dumb Broncos defensive possession. Next drive, do it again. Keep helping me out. Give me all the R.J. Harvey fantasy points. I have to make the playoffs. Even if I'm going to get my ass kicked in the first round of the fantasy playoffs, I need to make it. I'm on that NCAA logic. Even though my team is more than shown that we are very flawed, we still deserve to compete for a championship, baby. We should expand the playoffs. 100 teams, 200 teams, all of the teams. UMass should get in the playoffs. And if I don't get in, I'm going to decline my Constellation game invite. Because why would I want to get a trip out to New Orleans, or I wouldn't say the Bahamas because they're not there anymore, but Hawaii or LA, when I can just call it? I do have 2 bowl rings too. Those bowl rings, even because I worked for Western Kentucky football for a couple of years, and in those 2 years we went to the Boca Raton Bowl and the New Orleans Bowl, and that was pretty sick. I really enjoyed that. I like New Orleans. Maybe even more than Boca, because you got to be on. Not only did we get to be on Bourbon Street every night, but we also got to be we got to practice and play in the Saints stadium, the Superdome. That was sick. I was there. I was at the spot where Mikel Roby-Coleman got the PI that didn't get called. I was there. That's a spot in history right there, and I was right there. I made sure I was. I also made a few PATs after practice in the Saints Stadium. It was cool. Bowl season is supposed to be a cool thing, especially if we're being honest, it's like a vacation. It's a free vacation. Oh my God, Will Lutz kicks the ball out of bounds. That's Awesome. So what? That's up at like the 45 then, right? Damn. The 40-yard line. Golly. So they didn't change that rule, I guess. But hope that doesn't turn into anything disastrous for the Broncos. If you can have the ball going into the fourth quarter, up 21-7. Be all right. I mean, once again, this is just like the prime game, like the Thursday night game. Like we're playing against an injured Geno Smith. Like we should be able to take advantage of this, right? It's first down and 10 for the Raiders at their own 40-yard line. Geno Smith's going to drop back to pass, going to look at Brock Bowers, and that's going to be caught. It's going to be already inside Broncos territory. Thanks, Will Lutz. Yeah, he's going one-on-one with Jahdae Barron, and that's just not going to end well. Yeah, Brock Bowers was my fantasy steal last year. He basically won me that fantasy championship last year. First and 10 for the Raiders here. Geno Smith once again is going to drop back to pass, going to just throw it down to Brock Bowers. Saw nothing there. Covered by Jonah Ellis, second-year man out of Utah. I guess there's a lot of Broncos fans in that stadium because you hear a lot of booing for that play because Geno Smith he basically just spiked the ball right next to Brock Bowers because there was nothing. I believe it looked like it was going to be a screen to either Genty or Bowers, and just neither one of them. There's good work there by Jonah Ellis and whoever got Genty to just lock them up and make sure they weren't getting out there on that screen. Second and 10 here for Geno Smith. He's going to fake the handoff over to Genty. That ball is going to get caught by Tyler Lockett at the Broncos' 40-yard line. So third down coming up here for the Raiders. Broncos trying to get off the field and keep the momentum going for their offense, who just came off a long touchdown drive. Don't like how we're getting kind of carved up by Geno Smith with the non-working hand, but it's kind of par for the course at this point. 3rd and 2 for the Raiders now. Broncos trying to get some pressure. Geno Smith going to throw it across the middle, wide open to Trey Tucker, but he drops it. That'll make it 4th and 2. Had him open, just could not hang on. Yeah, he just went through Singleton, and Hufanga was there to maybe scare him into dropping it. I have no idea. He just kind of dropped it. Hit him in the body. The Raiders are going for it here on 4th down. We will see if that gamble pays off. They're 0-1 on 4th down this game. This is in a bit of a different circumstance here. Broncos look like they're sending pressure. Of course, some of that will probably back up once the ball is snapped. Look for a possible direct snap to Ashton Genty, too. Geno Smith drops back to pass again. He's got time. He's got pressure coming to him. Wide open is 18. God damn, dude, come on, dude. How is he that wide open? Come on, man. That's like, he's grimacing. He can't grip a football, dude, and we're letting him do that. Come on, man. Who is like, oh my God, you have 2 guys looking at one. Like, do you not see? Defense. Why? Why do you have to do that? We had the momentum back. We were up by 2 scores. Why? Why, defense? Why? Drive continues for the Raiders. Geno Smith once again dropping back to pass. No pressure here. He's going to run. He's going to move, and he's going to get about 3 yards. That's annoying, dude. That's annoying. Like, that's just bad communication there by the defensive backs. Because, like, why would you need 2 guys? Like, I don't know. I can't remember what the personnel was before that, what the formation was. But, like, how do you just lose a receiver like that? Geno Smith throwing again to Beck. Man of the hour. Once again on 3rd and 2. See, what you can't do here is let them score a touchdown here before the quarter's over. Like, oh, they can't make it easy. 3rd and 1, actually. Cannot make a thing easy here. I would likely see a Ashton Genty run right here. You're going to spread the defense out with 2 by, I don't know, what was 2 by 2? I think it's 3 by 1 now. Brock Bowers going to come in. Definitely he's blocking. He's blocking. You know exactly what they're doing. And they don't stop it. Yep. Oh, my God. Yeah, here we go. If you're going to give up a touchdown, don't do it to Ashton Genty because I'm playing him in fantasy. And the guy I'm playing has the Broncos defense. So if you're going to give up a touchdown, don't do it to Ashton Genty, please. Just, like, if it's got to be Brock Bowers again, that's fine. I don't care. Just, oh, my God. Here we go. 1st and goal here. Raiders got it at the 10-yard line. Snap back to Geno Smith. They're bringing everybody. And Geno Smith is going to throw it out of bounds. They literally brought the entire defense to go get him. My God. I mean, it was like a spear coming through there. Like, you had the whole defensive line and then just 3. Fonga, Singleton, and I don't know who I think it may have been Greenlards, the other linebacker, coming through just to come and kill him. Jeez. So 2nd and goal here for the Raiders. 4-minute drive here. Second and goal. Likely just see maybe a run here by Genty. Try to cut that in half. No, they're going to instead fake the handoff. Geno's going to look around, try to find somebody. Can't. Throw it to Bowers, who does manage to hang on to it. Be inside the 5-yard line, I believe, and that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Broncos lead 21-7 on the Raiders, but they are threatening. Yeah. Good catch there by Bowers. Way to hang on to it. He's also got Alex Singleton covering him, so that's just free every single time. It's literally free. Saw the thing that said, Notre Dame fans when beating service academies and losing all their important games doesn't get them into the playoffs. Yeah. Oh, no. We don't get in the playoffs by beating Ball State, Army, and Navy every year? Are you serious right now, guys? How could you do that? We're gonna decline our bowl bid because that's just ridiculous that you leave poor Notre Dame out of the playoffs. I mean, we beat Syracuse 70-7. Like, come on. We beat Syracuse. Clearly, you don't understand that we are one of the 12 best teams. Expand the playoff. Because this is ridiculous. If they don't expand the playoff, then I'm going to get really mad and decline my bowl bid. Which, honestly, it's like, good riddance then. I'm just so worried for how bowl season's going to be now. It's on the verge of just getting just unrecognizable from what it once was. I remember back when Christian McCaffrey, whenever he declined or whenever he opted out of the bowl game, it was like the Sun Bowl. And this is like when Stanford was really good, but they missed the playoff because I was back in the 14 playoff. They missed it. And like that was like a big deal. Like he opted out because, you know, he was going to get picked high in the draft and didn't want to take a chance of getting hurt and lowering his draft stock for the Sun Bowl. And like at that time, that was seen as like a big controversial thing. Like it wasn't commonplace. Nowadays, like college football has changed so much. Where now, like it's more commonplace to like you wonder going into a bowl game, like, okay, who's opted out this time? Who are we seeing this time? Who's the quarterback that's never played in a real game before? Who's this guy coming in here? Like used to, you get excited for like these big New Year's 6 matchups. Oh, so Kenny Pickett's now in for the Raiders, by the way. I'll get back to this after this play. 3rd and goal for the Raiders here. Kenny Pickett Steelers legend Kenny Pickett back in there. Broncos are going to send some pressure. You're going to throw it into Beck. That's going to be caught, but still not enough for a first or for a touchdown or anything. So Geno Smith heading to the locker room. Raiders have a decision to make here if they're going to go for it on 4th down or if they will take the points. I'm sure at this point they're going to just go for it. So big chance here for the Broncos to keep the Raiders out of the end zone and keep that momentum going in their favor. Take time off the clock. We'll see what happens here. 3-1 here for the Raiders. Watch possibly going to number 46. Some throwback stuff. Never know what you're going to see. Geno Smith drops back. Not Geno Smith. Kenny Pickett. Nothing. Brock Bowers was the target. Looking for a flag. Surtain was covering him. That will... I'm trying to think here. That will result in the Broncos' first down. I cannot think. Cannot brain. But back to what I was saying, like, because we're on a commercial. Like, college football has just changed. It's changed so much in just the last decade, even the last 5 years, really. The implementation of NIL has changed just the entire landscape of it, and I will never be one to like blame the players for taking these deals and taking the money or anything, because I mean it's the system, and even like leaving for a better financial situation somewhere else, because like that's something that the coaches have been doing for way longer. I just think there needs to be like some restrictions, some in regards to like when the transfer portal window opens up. And I know that if you kind of already have your mind made up of like, I'm leaving, then it would be annoying to kind of push that back farther, and you may not want to play anyway. But I still think that you would have a better chance of having more people stay if you just move the transfer portal window back farther. But also, they've kind of worked themselves into a corner here, because like used to college football, like the season was done like the first week of January, because you had the bowl games and then you had the national championship. It was done like even in the original 14 playoff setup. I think that the last game, the national championship game, was on like January. It was like still like within the first 10 days of January. Now it's like we're done like midway through January because we've expanded everything. So like the turnaround for some of these teams from like we're done with this season, now we're going right into spring ball. It's crazy. So it's just such a weird situation. It's changed so much now. Like used to, there were teams back a while ago that like they would have great years. Like take I think it was TCU, I think, from 2014, 2015. They had an amazing year. I think they may have lost one game, and they were left out of the playoff, and that was a controversial thing. Well, they still played in their bowl game, and they intentionally ran up the score to like just kind of stick it to the committee. And like I said, I'll get back to it after this play. Broncos are back on offense now inside the 5-yard line. Bo Nix is going to hand the ball off to RJ Harvey. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to keep going, get about 4 yards there. But like it can be seen as rich coming from a Florida State fan, but I'll say again, that's a very unique situation that no other team ever will have to face, past or present, or past, present, or future, whatever. No team will ever have to deal with that again. So it's a very one-of-one situation. So you could see why they would have opted out, but they didn't, and they still got their asses kicked. But now it's like, oh, my team lost 2 games. Why am I not competing for a national championship? It's like, really? Should you? Should you? Broncos have more of a heavy set here. They're going to run RPO, I believe, and that's over to Pat Bryant. Or that wasn't an RPO, because maybe it was actually, because I need to up my offensive playbook knowledge, because I feel like Bo could have still. I think he saw Pat Bryant had the step, was going to make the catch, so drop back to pass. Like, he could have easily just, like, been like, like, just handed it off if it wasn't there. That's what I'd have to think. I don't think it was just Pat Bryant or bust. Good play, though, for Bryant. Gets the Broncos in, gives them much more room to work with. As Evan Ingram's now in the backfield is more of an H-back on Bo Nix's hip, as Bo will fake the handoff and will throw it over to Adam Troutman, who makes a good spin and will get an extra couple yards as a result. Broncos trying to wind down that clock. First game with 2 drives of 8+ minutes, and 2 touchdowns since 2000. Wow. And the Broncos offense has been, for the most part, humming pretty well today. See if they can continue using that clock, continue pushing down the field, and getting out of this game with a win and clutching up more on that division lead and getting even closer to a playoff spot. 2nd and 5 here. Bo is going to throw to Cortland Sutton, who's just going to fall down. Had nothing there, so decides just to fall, prevent any dumb turnovers or injuries. Just fine. Keep that clock going. Good find there from Bo. The defensive, I think that may have been a linebacker, actually was not very aware of what was going on behind him. Keep that head on a swivel. Don't want to say anything because something dumb could happen, but so far, I don't have. Bo, 1st and 10, going to fake the handoff here. He's going to run. He's going to just slide down at the line of scrimmage. Not much there for him. Finds it better just to slide. What was I looking at? I forgot. Because of that play. God. So 2nd and 10 here. Bo Nix did not gain anything off that run. Clock still winding down for Denver. Don't want to get too conservative yet. You haven't won the game. Want to just keep taking time off the clock, but continue to move down the field and at the very least try to pin the Raiders deep in their own territory if you're not able to get any points out of this. 10:44 remaining in the game. Bo Nix going to toss it out to R.J. Harvey. He's going to have maybe some space. If he can break a tackle, he does. Makes a move, and he's going to get a couple more yards, but it's likely coming back due to a holding penalty. Oh. Okay, so they're going to call holding on the defense. Okay. Interesting. That is interesting. Rarely see defensive holding on a run play, but it will benefit the Broncos here, and they will get a fresh set of downs near, I believe it's near midfield, close to Raiders territory. Bo Nix, again, fakes it. They read it. He throws it to little Jordan Humphrey, who's going to fall forward for an extra yard, get a gain of about 6. Approaching 10 minutes to go in this game. As the Bears finally get a touchdown pass here from Caleb Williams over to I don't know ball. Oh, who's number 14? No. I only know DJ Moore and Romadenze. I think may not know his number. 2nd and 4 for the Broncos. Bo Nix throws it deep. Oh, my God, that was nearly picked off. Oh, we nearly had our government-mandated Bo Nix turnover. May got there a little early, but it's not enough to throw a flag. It's 3rd and 4 for the Broncos. 9:34 to go in the game. See what they draw up here. I would have liked if they would have went back to the run game. Just that's been working for them for the most part in this game. You have it 2nd and short. But now we're at 3rd and 4. See what Denver does right here. Their Raiders are sending pressure. Bo is going to throw over to Cortland Sutton, who manages to bobble it and bring it back down for the big catch. And the Broncos are now close to scoring position. I will say, like doing, that was very close. I will say, like just doing football games, like that is a great catch by Sutton. Doing football games, like commentary and stuff like that, it's so much easier than basketball or hockey because you just have these stoppages in between them where it's like something's not going on 100% of the time. And now the Broncos are called timeout. Speaking of the Sharks, they scored. Telling you though, man, this game needs to hurry up. I gotta piss like a damn racehorse. My God. Ooh, man. See if the Broncos can put the dagger in the Raiders' hearts here. I feel like if they get any points here, like they're gonna. I feel like that's a done deal, but you never know. You never know who's gonna just like lock in. It's a mystery. Everything's still updated here? My computer sounds like it's going to explode, dude. Holy. Like, it's an old-ass laptop. That's what I'm streaming on. I'm on a laptop. And that thing is going to... It is going to explode. Stupid thing. Next Tuesday. Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, and Rutgers are the 5 and 7 teams that declined a bowl bid. Here we go. Jaleel McLaughlin with the big carry. He's going to work his way back inside, fight forward for another couple yards. Yeah, I mean, how much can you really can't put that much blame on these 5 and 7 teams for like declining the bowl bid because like they thought the season was done weeks ago. Like they probably already collected equipment, turned everything back in. Like it's been done. And now you're calling back in and be like, hey, actually, you want to come play in this game? Just can't do it, man. Like, that's the problem. Now they're probably going to start canceling bowl games outright because they can't find anybody. Or they're going to, like, go even deeper and find, like, 4 and 8 teams, maybe. I would hope not. So hand off to Adam Prentice once again. Fights for another first down. It's just such a... It's a dumb situation. It makes more sense for them to... It makes more sense for these teams to decline the bid, unlike the teams that were bowl eligible and knew they were bowl eligible. And still be like, nah, we don't want to go play in a bowl game. Why would we? especially those teams like there were multiple like 6-6 teams that declined a bowl invite. Like used to, there were teams that were 6-6 and didn't make a bowl game. Bo Nix throw looks back. He's gonna just run anyways. Have R.J. Harvey blocking for him. He'll get out of bounds. Good work there by Bo Nix with his feet. He was out of bounds before he got to the first down, but still. Yeah, it's pretty, being frank here, it's pretty sorry. It's pretty pathetic that, like, these teams, like, if you're 6-6, you should be happy that you're playing for something at this point in the year. Like, God, man, it's just. Hand off to Marvin Mims, actually. Go jet sweep. He'll get taken down just a yard short of the chains, I believe. Third down. But time is not on the Raiders' side. If the Broncos just manage to get any points out of this drive, I think they'll be safe here. Close to win number 11 on the year for Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. Actually, 3rd and 2, they're calling it now. Got a very heavy set in here for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix is just he's gonna fall forward. He's gonna go for a quarterback sneak. They're getting close. I think. Don't know what they're calling it here. I don't know. I would think, like, at this point, this is a time where you do get a little more aggressive. Like, you bring in a heavier set. It's 4th and inches. If you get a first down here, like, you're more than likely, you're already in a good spot to win the game, but you have an even better chance of just putting it all away. Or I don't know what they're doing right now, why they're just hanging out in the huddle, and they call a timeout. My God. I guess you want to take more time off the clock, but So no matter what, today could be the day the CFP collapses. If they host Notre Dame or Alabama or an entire P4 league, then they let 2 G5 teams in and only one from the Big 12 ACC. I'm praying this ends committees. But once again, though, we're looking to do major rule changes for like years that are not like the norm. You know that, right? Like, they're not. This is not a norm. Like, you're normally not going to have 2 G5 teams make it in the playoffs over, like, the big guys. Here we go. 4th and 1 for the Broncos. Going to hand it off to Harvey. And he got it. That in all likelihood should do it for the game. I would think so. Unless just a complete disaster class happens. R.J. Harvey with 18 points on the day for me in fantasy. It's just, I may need to make the bowl video first. Like, that's at the point we're at with how these recent developments have come through. Like, my God, dude. It's just something we've never seen before. It's very unprecedented. As Bo Nix under center for the Broncos are going to give it back to R.J. Harvey, who's going to fall forward for a couple more yards inside the 10-yard line. I'd say this one is more or less Bover. Been it's kind of a whatever day for the Broncos. Like, good job defensively, not cratering after that opening drive. A passable day for the offense. They did what they needed to do. Maybe that's just a case where you're not going to bring out your best stuff. I mean, the clock management and the eating of clock has been very, very good. I mean, this drive has been almost 10 minutes long. I think they've had the ball like the entire quarter. Throw it to Adam Prentice. Yeah, I think they've actually had the ball for the entire quarter, except for one play, when maybe 1 or 2 plays. But they've had the ball for basically the entire quarter. Good work today from Adam Prentice, too. He's had a couple good rushes, some good blocking, big receptions. Clock does stop here. Broncos are 7-10 on third down. You'd think they would just look to hand the ball off, maybe go for some quick game stuff, just continue taking time off the clock. This drive has now eclipsed the 10-minute mark. Bo Nix drops back to throw. He's going to get it over to Cortland Sutton, who does not bring it down. And that will bring it fourth down for Denver. I believe they will probably bring the field goal team out there. Yeah, send the field goal team out there. You took more time off the clock. You're going to go up by 3 scores. You did your job. Down in the red area. I don't know why everybody's calling it the red area now. So, Will Lutz will come up to get this chip shot field goal, make it a 3-possession game. See how that goes. Field goal is up and good. Broncos go up 24-7 with 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go in this game. Looking real good for the Broncos. Yeah, I gotta piss like a fucking racehorse. I'm gonna go. We're back. What happened to the volume? Oh, shoot. Oh, man. This is Alex Singleton's 32nd birthday is what they're saying. It's cool for him. Shout outs to him. They were just on commercial break. It's like they gotta buy time. Commercial. I'm surprised. Like, we're just trying to wrap this game up, dude. Just trying to Get out of here. I may need to have the bowl season game actually get or the bowl season video actually get posted before the Florida State one. I can post that one next week. Because this seems like more of a pressing matter. It's I had like had that one in the back of my mind for a while now. The Sharks are up 3-1. Cool. Playing the Carolina Hurricanes, who have actually been pretty good this year. They're actually one of the better teams this year, so good to have that lead. The bipolar team. Never know what you're going to get. It's a mystery. Here. It's another game, too, where, like, Bo doesn't have a touchdown, but, like, he was good today. It's also, like, it's the Raiders. And as Kenny Pickett's into the game now, he will drop back to pass, going to throw over to Tyler Lockett, who can't hold on to that one. It's 2nd and 10. Kenny Pickett, it's not very. I remember at one point I really wanted the Broncos to get him in the draft, but it's fine that didn't end up happening. Here we go. 2nd and 10 now. Kenny Pickett in the backfield with empty backfield, I might say, as Raheem Mostert goes in orbit motion as Kenny Pickett will throw over to Tyler Lockett, who draws the flag. Hunter Tan once again. That's his 2nd PI of the day. It's weird. It is weird not having a Broncos game where it just is coming down to the wire. I already do follow him. Raiders. As Kenny Pickett gets the ball, drops back to pass, thrown over to Beck. See, we'll get 4 yards. Second and 5. Kenny Pickett once again dropping back to pass, thrown over to Beck. Who cares? Broncos not really sending as much pressure, just trying to prevent any dumb big plays. Don't want any 1 to 2 yard or 1 to 2 play drives right now. If they're going to score, you make them use that clock. As Nick Bonito gets in and gets a sack on Kenny Pickett. 11.5 on the year for Nick Bonito. Pro Bowl edge rusher from Oklahoma. Just wrangles Gardner Minshew, Kenny Pickett in there. Pass over to Brock Bowers, who's covered by Justin Strnad. That will be good for a first down. The Raiders still moving the ball here. Like I said, Denver likely calling more prevent looks. I mean, they have 4 on the line, but not sending in the linebackers. Just trying to get something like that. Shit. Like that. They didn't even have his name on the screen. My God, guys. What are we doing? Damn, that was Riley Moss, too, that got cooked. Well, so the Raiders do move the ball down the field. They do score. 24-14, but still 2:17 to go, and the Raiders have all 3 timeouts. The Broncos are not completely out of this one yet. God, please just clutch up. Please just clutch up. For the love of God. Can we not have some late game garbage? Damn, says Nutter. Oh my God, what are we doing? The Pop-Tarts Bowl is like the best one you can play in, man. That's besides the Duke's Mayo Bowl, of course. Like that's the bowl game to play in. And you don't play in it. What's wrong with you? You heathen. How dare you deny the glory that is the Pop-Tarts Bowl? I mean, that's a top tier bowl game right there, man. That's the best. And you just turn your nose at it. Say, no, we don't want to be in the Pop-Tart Bowl. I want to eat a giant Pop-Tart if we win. And hang out with a Pop-Tarts mascot. And see a Pop-Tart pop out of a giant toaster at halftime. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I saw someone say like ban teams from or give them a postseason ban if they don't if they decline their bowl bid. But you know what? Like, you're out there to play football. You know how many teams like I bet you UMass would kill to be in a bowl game right now. I bet you like teams like Akron would kill to be in a bowl game. Like there are teams who haven't made bowl games in over a decade. I get those are smaller schools with different expectations, but like they're doing an onside kick. Oh shit. I think Adam Troutman got it. Okay, so the Broncos will get the ball with 2:17 to go in the game. Trying to prevent any dumb bullshit from going on here at the end. Glad Adam Troutman was able to fall on it. Oh my God, we're going to commercial break again. Why? Now you're making me want to eat food. It's like they said, football is designed to sell you food. I'm getting hungry now. I need some chicken McNuggets. It's working. And it's working on me. So here we go. 2:17 to go in the game. We all know what the Broncos are doing here. Raiders do have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, so there is a chance they could get the ball back if the Broncos cannot get a first down. Bo Nix will hand off to R.J. Harvey. Raiders do look like they had some pressure at the line, but R.J. Harvey's still pushing forward for a couple more. He'll get a gain of 7 as the Raiders will take their first of 3 timeouts. Damn. So the Broncos get a first down here. It's pretty over. But we got to get that first down first. So 2nd and 2, 2:06 to go. Raiders have 2 timeouts, but they also do have the 2-minute warning. R.J. Harvey in the backfield now. The Broncos will hand it off to him as he pushes forward. He will get that first down, and we will go. He called a timeout before the 2-minute warning, so they'll have 2:01. R.J. Harvey having a nice career day. I don't know how many rushing yards he has in total. I mean, it's got to be close to 100, right? He's been pretty effective running the ball all day. This was a game that the Broncos definitely needed to have because the remaining 4 games in their schedule were, I think they play Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and LA. So it doesn't get any easier. I mean, you still got 4 teams who are either in a playoff spot or fighting for a playoff spot. I'm glad they were able to. What are they doing? Why are they throwing the ball? Why? Why? Why are you not just running the ball? Why? Why would you even risk an injury to Bo right there by having him drop back to throw? That is dumb. Just run the ball. Give it to your running back. My fantasy football app is broken. There it is. Welp. The Broncos are in a spot to clinch this game. Like I said, that was one they needed to have this one because their schedule to end the year is fairly treacherous because they got, like I said, Packers, Jaguars. They got to play the Chiefs at Arrowhead on Christmas, and then the Chargers, I believe, at home. Which, given how, I don't know how the game is. I don't know what the situation is going to be by that point. I think if you win, they could still be fighting for the number 1 seed. We'll see how the Patriots do. I think they're on a bye week this week. But we're in the spot now where teams are starting to get close to clinching playoff spots. And teams are also getting eliminated. I think next week could be the first time the Broncos can clinch a spot, either with a win or with certain teams losing. Every game matters. I keep thinking it's the noise sounds like the cheering on the TV, but it's actually just my laptop getting ready to explode. So the Broncos, I think, like just hand the ball off to R.J. Harvey. I think the Raiders have they lost 11 in a row against division opponents. That's what the Broncos used to do. There seriously used to be a time where the Broncos could own, like they were horrible in division games. Like they could not beat. They couldn't beat the Chiefs, of course, and then they had that 8-game losing streak against the Raiders, which honestly I think was way worse because at least with like the Chiefs, like that was at the start of their their big dynasty. The Raiders were like even worse somehow than the Broncos through those years, and they were still beating them. So yeah, I think if the Broncos win next week, they'll clinch a playoff spot. That's the way I'm seeing it. Because the Chiefs already have 6 losses. Every team below them has 6 or more losses. So the Raiders can't stop the clock. Bidet carries it again for about a 7-yard gain. You probably take this clock down as much as you can. I would just go for it here because a field goal really doesn't do you any good. I say you take a timeout. You wind it down as much as you can. Take the timeout. Go for it. Just live with the results. Very anticlimactic ending to this game, which I'm fine with. Less that I got to worry about as a Broncos fan. So it will be at home against Green Bay, at home against Jacksonville, at Kansas City, and at home against the Chargers. So 3 of your next 4 games are at home, which the Broncos have been, I think they're undefeated this year actually at home. It's a good sign for them. I think Sean Payton is leaving the offense out there. Just going to try to seal this game at the very least. Take more time off the clock because they got another like very heavy set in there. They have 3 tight ends, I believe. Let's see here, Bo Nix. Hands it off to R.J. Harvey. Harvey's going to keep moving. He's going to keep fighting, and he's not going to get anything. So the Broncos don't get it on 4th down. Raiders will get the ball back with less than a minute to go, but they're already down 2 scores. I don't think that, barring some sort of divine miracle, I don't think that. I would hope not. The Raiders can win this game. Just keep them in bounds. Keep that clock running, and just get cross the finish line. Just cross that finish line. Here we go. Kenny Pickett, of course, still in at quarterback for the Raiders. Broncos sending 4. Drops back to pass. Going to throw it down to Raheem Mostert, who's going to get out of bounds here with 52 seconds remaining. Imagine if they score here and it's still technically like a 1 possession. Like they still win by 1 score. Kenny Pickett once again dropping back. Broncos bring some pressure. Do get the stop inbounds though, so that's important. As the clock continues to roll, we're under 40 seconds to go in the game. Time is running out for the Raiders today. Kenny Pickett once again on 3rd and 3. He's going to drop back to pass. Going to look, can't find anybody. Just going to run, going to roll, and he's going to slide down. And that, instead of going out of bounds, Kenny Pickett for some reason decides to just stay inbounds as time goes off the clock, and he's going to spike the ball here with 16 seconds left to go. Really nothing but a formality for the remaining 16 seconds because I wouldn't think they can score 2 times in 16 seconds. It's just waiting for the clock to run down. Just keep everything in bounds. Nothing stupid, and you're good. Second and 10 now. Raiders going 3-1. Broncos are heavily guarding the sidelines here as Jonah Ellis gets a break. Can't get the sack, though, but does get Kenny Pickett rolling. He's going to throw down to Tyler Lockett, but that's going to... Why did he... Why? Why? What? What? Why, though? That's so stupid. Why would you lay on top of him? There was 7 seconds left, dude. The game's over. There's 5 seconds left. What are they doing? Why are they trying to kick a field goal? Do they realize that they're not gonna? Are they just trying to pad their kicker stats or something? Like I'm so confused by this. So even though the Broncos were up by 17 with 3 minutes to go, they're gonna still only win by 1 score. 1 second, 0 seconds. Okay. So that's the game. The Broncos win in a weird ending. They win 24-17, and their record moves to 11-2 on the year, now taking the spot as the number 1 team in the AFC over the New England Patriots. Now, if the Broncos and Patriots finish with the same record, because the Broncos beat the Raiders, they swept the Raiders, they will now have the best winning percentage against common opponents. So they now control their own destiny when it comes to getting the number 1 seed. And that will do it. Broncos, like I said, move to 11-2 on the year, get a tighter grasp on both the number 1 seed spot, a playoff spot, and the division title, all in one. Weird game today. Not like super down to the wire. The box score makes it look a lot closer than it was, but still, like I said, very weird game. I don't know what what more you can say. Defense played good for the most part. Had a few bad drives and possessions. Offense was about the same way. I guess you don't want to bring out your big guns against the Raiders, but still did enough to win. Still, a win is a win. Can't complain. It's a non-stressful win too, so that helps out me and my blood pressure. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Just got another game to watch, and so we'll probably want to get to work on the script for the next video. Probably will, instead of the Florida State one, it'll probably be the bowl season video. So I'll get that out hopefully this week, if not early next week. I'll send out updates, of course, when that one will come out. But until then, appreciate everybody that came out to the stream. Like I said,